It's time now for the best high school sports action from the WBCB Sports Network. Catch the best games from Bucks and Mercer County at WBCBSports.com and our Facebook page. Your home for high school sports is right here at WBCB 1490.
Two coaches with over a decade of experience with their programs meet yet again. Spring break baseball here on WBCB, a morning matchup between the Notre Dame Irish and the Blue Devils of Ewing High School. Hi everybody, Mike Warren alongside David Shapansky. Great to be with you here on the WBCB Sports Network. The Irish at 1-0, the Blue Devils at 1-2, looking to get back to 500 on the season under the direction of head coach David Angebrand in his 12th season here with the Ewing Blue Devils. And when you look at David Angebrand and this squad, a lot of excitement around it on opening day, a 10-2 victory, David, over Trenton. But since then, the offense has had some struggles trying to find the groove again, and they turned to Sam Leibowitz on the mound today to get them back into the win column. A big momentum burst for them as they did not have Leibowitz a season ago.
Well, great to be with you, Mike. Definitely doesn't feel like baseball weather out here today, but glad to be with you and all of our listeners. And yeah, it was a great start for Ewing to begin the season, 10-2 win at Trenton, and the pitching did a pretty nice job, did put together some hits, also worked the count, which I thought was very impressive in the first game. But the last two have been, some struggles offensively, right? A 13-3 loss to Hopewell Valley, a 10-0 loss at Hamilton West most recently, where Bryce Bulagini had a perfect game with 13 strikeouts against Ewing. So an offense that has struggled in the last two, but we were talking about it off-air, Mike. This is a team that's ran into top pitching in all three of the games. The aces of the staffs have been what this Notre Dame team has faced. They're going to face another ace today for this Ewing squad, so we'll see how they can rebound, looking for some offense.
The Irish turn to Josh Klena, the rider commit. The senior now in his senior season, of course, but his first start of the year, as the Irish yesterday got their first victory of the season on the road at Watching Hills, and a big victory for the Irish, 8-5 the final score. Notre Dame pitching Joe Leck yesterday, and they went to Augie Kapoor in relief. We'll see if either of those are available. Don't expect Leck to be available. We heard from Coach Bo Burrows pregame that Kapoor was lights out of the pen, and early on, typically, we don't see the Irish try to stretch guys out back-to-back days. So we'll see if they dig a little bit deeper, but pitching has always been kind of the recipe for success for this Notre Dame baseball program. When they have depth at the pitching spot, they seem to make pretty good runs at the CVC tournament and beyond in the playoffs. They've got a lot of pitching on this roster again, and it starts with Josh Klena, the senior committed to rider. We'll see him today making his debut here in his senior campaign as we take a look at the starting lineups here today, presented by the Trentonian. Don't forget, you miss any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. Sam Leibowitz will lead things off for Ewing. We'll start with the home Blue Devils. He'll be in center field. Michael Gamboa Ordini, the catcher, bats second. Sam Simpkins on the mound. He'll bat third, and we'll talk a little bit about Sam Simpkins, David, as last season he was not available for Ewing. A tough loss for them, an injury to his one shoulder after he's a multi-sport athlete, a tough hit at the end of the football season last year, and I believe he was talking with David Angebrand. He said, something just doesn't feel right during workouts, and as those workouts progressed, David Angebrand said, why don't you go get it checked out? Let's make sure everything's okay. And lo and behold, it was a shoulder injury that kept him out for the remainder of the season, wasn't able to make an appearance last year. Simpkins on the mound today for Ewing, a huge momentum burst. He's one of the best pitchers and one of the best bats in this lineup, and he should provide a big burst here for Ewing in the 3 spot and out there on the mound.
Most definitely, Mike. And just take a look at his first outing of the season, coming in relief out of the bullpen against Trenton. Had 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts on 63 pitches. And you talked about the injury from a season ago, but you have to remember back in the 2024 season, this was a guy who pitched almost 35 innings, had an ERA of below 4, 3.36, really impressive, had a good amount of strikeouts as well. So maybe just because he hasn't played last year, maybe you forget about him a little bit, but this team is very happy to have Simpkins back, not only on the mound, but also in the lineup.
Simpkins as well was a member of the Ewing Blue Devils the last time they beat Notre Dame, which was back in May of 2024, a 6-5 victory for the Blue Devils. Simpkins has been in this starting lineup and has been a part of this squad since his freshman season. Him and Ryan Gregg, staples in this program. They'll be key contributors today. Simpkins bats third. He's on the bump. Colton Bush out in right field bats fourth. Wilfrey Rodriguez, the second baseman, bats fifth. Ryan Gregg, the first baseman, sixth. Mason Chisholm over at third base in the 7th spot. Zach Greener, the DH. He will hit for Ashton Ford, the left fielder. And Kyle Chianese at shortstop Rounding out the lineup for David Angebrandt's Ewing Blue Devils. And for Notre Dame, under the direction of Joe Drulis, his 25th year at the helm for the Irish. Joe Drulis will roll out the lineup as follows. Rocco Valentino, the third baseman, bats first. Joey Bonco at shortstop bats second. Tommy Switek, the center fielder, will bat third. Josh Guire behind the dish in the fourth spot. A.J. Liberto at second base batting fifth. In the sixth spot, it's Sal Kearns, the designated hitter. He'll hit for the pitcher, Josh Klena. Jimmy Iacona out in left field bats seventh. Dylan Bundick, the first baseman, eighth. And rounding out the lineup, Steven Nemenko out in right field. So again, for Notre Dame, it's Valentino, Bonco, Switek, Guire, Liberto, Kearns, Iacona, Bundick, and Nemenko. The 1 through 9 for Joe Drulis' Irish. An 8-5 victory over Watching Hills yesterday, and looking to keep that offensive momentum going here today. They played in a pretty small field at Watching Hills, and from hearing just from Bo Burrows, he said it's kind of like a sandbox. You could fly one out deep at that park. Here, not so much. A ton of real estate in that outfield and a lot of green grass. That could be in play today. Extra bases, doubles, stretch to triples could be a theme in this one if baseballs find their ways out towards those left and right center field alleys.
It definitely could, Mike. And, we were talking about it again off air before the broadcast, but this is an offense that when you look at the overall average from a season ago, 325, but a team that averaged just a little bit less than 6 runs per game. The offense is kind of the big question for Notre Dame coming into this season, where you lose a guy like Danny Kadrupi, who had a really nice season last year, 60 at-bats, 400 batting average, 24 hits, 11 RBIs, 18 singles, 6 doubles. And I think you have to look to Joey Bonco, who's right at the top of the lineup for the Irish. Just a sophomore campaign last year, now a junior, but he had 327 last year, had 3 doubles, 16 hits overall, and 7 RBIs. Bonco is going to be a key contributor. They need him at the top of this lineup to set the tone for some of the big boys after him.
That was a key last year, the struggles for the top of the lineup, something that Notre Dame is not accustomed to, especially with Joe Drulis at the helm over these 25 years. And the struggles, it was really 7, 8, and 9 that got the job done last year. Joey Bonco thrust it into shortstop and into the top of the lineup as the season progressed because he was just able to work great counts and get on base at a high clip, and they wanted to keep him in the lineup as much as they could. But, yeah, that is really the key to success, David. You nailed it on the head. It's this offense and how do they stay consistent. A couple of teams that have similar kind of problems in front of them in terms of, addressing the offense. And for Ewing, they're trying to break out of a bit of a rut, having been outscored 20-3 over their last 2. It's going to be a tough one today, but this is a team that is more than capable, a ton of experience on this Ewing roster. And
with the weather, too, Mike, I think it's also important to bring up just the offensive struggles as a whole because it is chilly out here. I mean, it's pretty windy. I think it's going to be difficult. I mean, it may be difficult for the pitchers to get a handle of the baseball today, but I think in general it's going to be tough to score a lot of runs in this game. So maybe just, 2 runs, maybe even a run could be the difference maker with how good both of these starting pitchers really figure out to be.
And the last time Ewing was able to knock off the Irish, they kept it close. They scrapped out a victory, 6-5, back on May 8th.
Much warmer that day, Mike.
Much warmer indeed. Last meeting, a 14-0 victory for Notre Dame. That was back on March 26th on the Irish field at Father John Donofrio Field. Here today, today's game at Ewing at Andy Greener Field. It's brought to you in part by on WBCB, Team Toyota, the Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford, the Revere Restaurant, NJEA, Kessel Dermatology, Notre Dame High School, Mayor Bert Steinman of Ewing Township, the Trentonian, the Trenton Thunder, the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, and Mako of Ewing, all proud to bring you today's coverage on WBCB. Ground rules established at home plate. David Angebrandt, Joe Drulis, and our umpires there at the home plate circle. Going over the ground rules here today, and we talk about how much space there is in the outfield, David, but ton of space in foul ground as well. Both of these foul lines, left field and right, a lot of space beyond the foul lines, and when those balls kind of venture over that way, can be difficult for whether it's the first baseman, third baseman, or either corner outfielder to kind of track those down and keep it manageable.
Absolutely. We also saw both of these teams throughout warm-ups practice pop-ups, fly balls, because the wind is going to be a factor in this game at some point, and that's going to be very important, especially for a team like Ewing, who has made 9 errors in the first 3 games. Defensively, especially going back again in this cold weather, you see a lot of the guys bundled up. They're going to have to play well. It's going to be a challenge defensively, I think, for both of these teams, but especially for Ewing with the way they've started so far on the defensive side of the ball.
Coaches have the ground rules established here at Andy Greener Field. Moments away from first pitch. The Blue Devils get set to take the field for the first time today as the right-handed senior Sam Simpkins gets set to toe the slab here for the Ewing Blue Devils.
Great uniform matchup, too, Mike.
Yeah.
I mean, it is blue versus blue. I know Ewing technically wearing their white uniforms today, but obviously with the blue hats and the blue outline of the letters. So a good uniform matchup, Battle of Blue here at Annie Greener Field.
The royal blue for the Ewing Blue Devils, the Irish sporting that Carolina blue with their road tops today, the navy blue numbers on them. And this Irish lineup will remind you again, the first three that Simpkins will see today. It's Rocco Valentino, Joey Bonco, and Tommy Switek. The first three for Joe Drulis' Irish. And we'll reintroduce to you the defensive lineup here for Ewing before they hit the field for the first time today. The outfield from left to right, it's Ashton Ford, Sam Leibowitz, and Colton Bush. In the infield over at third base, Mason Chisholm. At shortstop, Kyle Chianese. The second baseman, Wilfrey Rodriguez, and Ryan Gregg, the senior, over at first. Mike Gamboa Ordini behind the plate, and of course, Sam Simpkins out on the mound.
Excited to see Simpkins, his first start of the season, first start since 2024. How does he handle that? Should be a fun, at least first inning coming up, but a fun game here on this chilly Thursday morning.
Today's game on WBCB brought to you in part by Ewing Mayor Bert Steinman, wishing all the Ewing student-athletes the best of luck this season. Go out there and make it count, says Ewing Mayor Bert Steinman, and he says, go Blue Devils. Today's game also brought to you in part by the Trenton Thunder. Single game tickets are now on sale. Visit TrentonThunder.com/tickets to get yours today. A cold, overcast afternoon, or morning to this point, will be afternoon as this one unfolds. But you mentioned those conditions, David. The coldness for a pitcher, typically the adrenaline, once you get going out there on the mound, you can kind of keep your throwing hand warm, but we're going to see a lot of guys raising that right hand, both Simpkins and Klena, to start this one, raising it up towards the mouth, kind of huffing on it and puffing on it to try and keep it warm as much as they can. But that's something to watch for in this one, both not just the pitchers, but how do these fielders grip the baseball after being not still, but not much action coming their way at times, and when the wind does ramp up, it can set a little bit more of a chill in your bones. So how do these guys handle the baseball today when it's cold and your fingertips might not already be accustomed to gripping it so quickly?
Well, I think it's definitely a challenge for Simpkins as well, but you have to think his adrenaline is rushed, right? Your first start since 2024, yep. You were on your home field, ready to go, taking on a Notre Dame team that has dominated the series over the past few years. So I think he's got to be amped up, ready to go, mainly a three-pitch mix for Simpkins. And fastball last time he started in 2024 was in the low 80s. We'll see how that really factors today in this matchup. But I think overall, really for Ewing, but also Notre Dame, the field conditions, it may come down to who can handle the field conditions better, not just the pitchers, but in terms of the fielders. They're going to be ready to go because both of these pitchers can strike out a lot of hitters. So, as you said, Mike, they have to stay ready to go for any baseball, especially with the ability for Simpkins to get the ball on the ground.
Simpkins, typically we see him when he's not on the mound. We'll see him at shortstop, one of the better fielders you'll see in Mercer County. Today, Kyle Chianese behind him at short, and Wilfrey Rodriguez, who took over at shortstop a season ago after the Blue Devils found out they'd be without Simpkins for the season. Here he is, the senior, toeing the slab for the first time, making his first start here this afternoon. Rocco Valentino digs in from the left side. Simpkins gets the point from the home plate umpire into his windup, and the first pitch fired in, misses downstairs. Taken for a ball, 10:03 first pitch, we are underway. Valentino with a Carolina blue helmet to match the uniform. 1-0 on the way to him, taken upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes, couple of bluffs on the bunt attempts here from Valentino to start.
And that's a challenge for this Notre Dame team, has really been the top of the lineup, as you said, Mike, last year. So really any way that Valentino can get on base here is definitely going to be a positive for the Irish.
2-0. Clips the corner on the outside edge. 2 balls and a strike to the Irish third baseman. Valentino last year primarily used as a courtesy runner and a late innings adjustment defensively. Simpkins 2-1 on the way. Fastball, that one catches the outside half, and the count's even, 2-2. From 2-0 to 2-2, Simpkins battling back. Peers over the glove, lifted to his nose, kicks and deals, the 2-2 pitch. Down and outside, and the count's full.
Great at bat to begin things here for Valentino, right? Saw the first 2 pitches for balls. Eventually saw Simpkins work back, but really laid off the pitch on the outside. Had some good movement from the righty.
3-2 the count to the leadoff man, Valentino, in the pitch. Swung on, lifted, right side, carrying a bit towards right field. Colton Bush under it and there to make the catch for 1 out.
I think if you're Notre Dame, you have to be very happy with that at bat, right? You see 6 pitches, Valentino able to work the count full against Simpkins and hits the ball to medium range right field, 1 away here in the top of the first.
That'll bring up Joey Bonko. He'll dig in from the right side. Bonko, a key contributor midway through the season. Wasn't a starter to begin the year, but once he was thrusted into the lineup, he made his impact. Check swings one foul on the first pitch. Fastball about belt high gets him to offer. No balls and a strike to Bonko. Getting ahead to start the at-bat is Simpkins. Lifts the leg, the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Out in front of the off-speed from Simpkins that time.
That was a beautiful changeup. What a dandy there, Mike, to get Bonko behind in the count 0-2.
Simpkins in the driver's seat. Bonko on the defense. The 0-2 on the way. Skipped in and blocked behind Ordini.
And that's a challenge, too, I think, for Simpkins, right? Having not pitched since the 2024 season. I'm sure the fastball is probably pretty good to go, but after that injury last year, I think it took some time for the breaking ball, the changeup especially, to really come back.
1-2. Liner out towards left field. This one will hook foul. Bonko able to get a good piece of that one. He'll send him back to the batter's box. Still a ball and 2 strikes to count. Simpkins with a good pace to this one. Quickly has his sign from Ordini. Bonko back in, deep in the box from the right side. 1-2 from Simpkins. Downstairs, takes a breaking ball. Almost offered at it, but held up.
Strong take and good pitch by Simpkins, especially with Bonko ahead on that last pitch to go back to the off speed, and we'll see where he goes here. Potentially goes back to that fastball.
2-2 on the way. Missing downstairs again, and another full count to start. Good battle here from Bonko after being behind 1-2.
That's exactly what the Irish want to do. Work the count, try to get Simpkins' pitch count up through almost 70 pitches against Trenton the other day.
3-2. Tapper just in front of home plate. Tough play. Ordini, bare hand throw in time to get Bonko, and there's 2 down.
And you have to love that play by your catcher, right? Ewing started off the season 9 errors in the first 3 games. What a play there, especially on a cold day. Hard for the catcher. Get the mask off, pick up the ball in front of the plate. Great play by the catcher for the Blue Devils.
Michael Gamboa Ordini, a clean play indeed. And barking out the assignments from behind home plate. You knew it was his ball the whole way. 2 down, nobody aboard. Here's Tommy Switek. The center fielder for the Irish. Takes one downstairs. He's ahead 1-0. Inside-out approach from Simpkins here to Switek.
Switek was a guy last year, junior campaign, .316 batting average, 12 hits, 9 RBIs. He's also a big part of this top of the lineup.
Takes that one high this time, and it's 2-0. Great speed Switek has as well.
And you have to love when your center fielder has some pop, right, can hit the ball into the gaps, and that's exactly what Switek does for this Notre Dame squad.
2-0. Pitch from Simpkins. Up and inside, gets him to peel out of the box, and it's 3 balls and no strikes.
Back to back to back, 3-ball counts for Simpkins. Not exactly what you wanted, but so far so good. Bases empty, 2 outs.
3-0 from the righty. In there at the knees. 3 balls and a strike to the senior center fielder, Tommy Switek. Infield at normal depth with 2 outs and nobody on. 3-1 on the way. Up and inside for ball 4, and a 2-out base runner here for the Irish, and good speed aboard in Switek.
Well, that was really the first count of the day through 3 batters where you saw Simpkins really focus primarily on the fastball there to Switek. The first 2 batters went more to the off-speed breaking ball, but they are kind of dependent on the fastball and ended up walking Switek.
2 down. 1 aboard for Josh Guire. Guire we saw a lot last season at second base for Notre Dame, and then now this season he's the backstop for the Irish. First pitch swinging, rolls this one to third, and it's through the glove into left field of Chisholm. Rounding second and holding up there is Switek, first and second, with 2 down and 2 aboard now for the Irish.
And that's the struggles for this Ewing defense so far this season, just trying to stay down on the baseball there. And unfortunately, Chisholm just kind of let that ball get right through his legs. I know Ewing was practicing that before this matchup, but that's now the 10th ever of the season for the Blue Devils here in just game number 4 of the season.
Courtesy runner coming on here for Notre Dame. It's number 16, Dean Garbolino. A two-sport standout, a linebacker for the football team this past season. Garbolino on first, Sweetek on second. Simpkins from the stretch. Runners get their lead. Liberto in from the right side for the first time today in the pitch. Taken downstairs. A ball and no strikes to A.J. Liberto.
In a game that's most likely going to be low scoring, I mean, the fact that Simpkins is already close to 20 pitches in this game, high pressured, couple full counts, it's exactly what you wanted for Notre Dame, not so much for Simpkins. Could play a big factor in the later innings.
Swing and a drive out towards center field, but there on a line to make the catch is Sam Leibowitz for out number 3. Liberto puts a good sting into it, but right at the center fielder in Leibowitz to retire the side. Simpkins strands a pair, keeps a 0 up on the scoreboard. We're on to the bottom of the first here from Ewing High School. The Ewing Bats head to work.
Spring sports season is here, which means practices, games, tournaments, and a lot more time in the car. And with rising gas prices, those trips to the field can really add up. At Team Toyota, we're the MVP of MPG, with a huge selection of new and certified Toyota models, hybrid, electric, or gas. We've got the right option for you to drive. Plus, our award-winning service and collision centers will help keep you in the game. Team Toyota, ready for wherever the season takes you. Stop in today or visit teamlanghorn.com.
Hi, I'm Merrill Reese. Kessel Dermatology offers top-of-the-line medical-grade skincare products manufactured in the USA. They're tested and developed by a team of board-certified dermatology experts, and they come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Take care of your skin. Schedule an appointment with Kessel Dermatology.
April is Autism Awareness Month, and the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office is proud to partner with the Hamilton Police and the Mercer County Police Chiefs Association to bring you Autism Awareness Day. Join them on Saturday, April 11th at the Hamilton Township Police Department on Whitehorse, Mercerville Road from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. to help raise awareness and to make the world a better place. To find out more, visit www.mercercountyprosecutor.com to learn more today. The Mercer County Prosecutor, proud to sponsor high school athletics on WBCB. Simpkins able to work out of a jam, a 2-out, 1 in that. Strands a pair, keeps a 0 up on the scoreboard, and we get to see the future Ryder Bronc, Josh Klena, the right-hander, towing the slab for the first time this season for Notre Dame. Here in his senior campaign, he makes his first start at Andy Greener Field, the home of the Ewing Blue Devils.
Klena, an ERA last year below 2, right? A guy that only gave up 12 earned runs, 17 walks, 71 strikeouts in 48 innings. I mean, he just strikes out a ton of hitters. And, last year the fastball was in the mid-80s. Expect that to maybe even climb. We'll see with the cold weather. But Klena, I mean, he induces a lot of weak contact, but he is a strikeout pitcher.
To a T. Lives down in the zone and relies a lot on the punch-out and the ground ball. Klena into his windup. First pitch to Sam Leibowitz is taken downstairs 1-0. It'll be Sam Leibowitz, Michael Gamboa, Ordini, and Sam Simpkins, the first 3 that Klena will face today. A ball and no strikes to Leibowitz. The righty kicks and deals. Fires a fastball belt high in there for a called strike 1.
Ewing offense looking for its first hit since the 13-3 loss against Hopewell Valley. It was no hit the other day against Hamilton West.
Upstairs fastball, 2-1. 2-1 from Klena. Finds the zone with another fastball, and it's 2-2.
Have to love the pace at which both of these pitchers are going through the first inning. I mean, they are getting it, firing, no pitch clock needed.
2-2. Upstairs counts full. Couple of leadoff full counts for both of these teams. Yeah. 3-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a foul back behind home plate, out of play. Leibowitz able to get a piece of that one as looked like Klena was changing speeds. Count still full. Klena with the sign, kicks and deals, payoff pitch. Cut on and missed. Fastball gets him to cut right through it.
Well, right on cue, a strikeout there for Klena, right? We were just talking about his stats from a season ago, more than 70 Ks, and picks up a first one here on the first batter of the day that he's facing here in this Ewing lineup.
Klena was masterful the last time he faced Ewing, back on the 26th of March in 2025 as he gets ahead of Michael Gamboa Ordinio in 1. Went 5 innings with 8 Ks, 9 Ks and 2 hits. Ball swung on, lifted, shallow center field, backpedaling to make the catch is A.J. Liberto, and there's 2 away.
2 quick outs, too, for Klena. I know that Leibowitz was able to work a 3-ball count, but the fastball has been really strong for Klena in the first 2 batters.
2 down here, Sam Simpkins.
Simpkins going to try to help himself out a little bit, perhaps, and that's what you
Getting
might have to
alive.
do on a cold day like this.
Yeah. Try and keep this inning going here with 2 down. 21 pitches in the first inning for Sam Simpkins on the mound. Off-speed approach, inside out, paying off for Klena. He gets ahead with a called strike. Already 0-1, and the pitch on the way. Another curveball. This one misses up and in. A ball and a strike.
What I like about Klena's lineup, too, he kind of hides the baseball a little bit when he extends back. A little bit of a short arm. Doesn't fully extend back. Creates some deception for the hitters.
Simpkins out in front of that pitch, and it's 1-2. Klena changing speeds and locations throughout this at-bat. An off-speed heavy at-bat. 1-2 on the way to Simpkins. Fastball trying to speed him up. He gets a piece. Fouls it away.
Have to like the extension, too, for Klena. Kind of reminds you of somewhat of a Bailey Falter. Of course, he's from the right-handed side. I know a lot of Phillies fans would know that name. Obviously not a lefty, but big extension, too, on the mound for Klena, and that really helps kind of shorten the distance from the mound to the plate.
1-2 off speed. Guire thought it was strike 3, as did Klena. And misses a bit high. It's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Bottom of the first. Pitch from Klena. Off speed, just misses away. And it's full. Klena versus Simpkins, a battle of the pitchers. Simpkins works it full, 3-2. The right-hander winds and fires. The payoff, fouled. We'll do it again.
Well, Simpkins is at least giving himself some time before he has to go back out to the mound working the count. Best at bat of the day so far for the Ewing hitters.
Brief stroll off the back of the mound for Klena. Retoes the rubber. 3-2. Popped up. Shallow infield. Making the call and the catch is the third baseman, Rocco Valentino. Not an easy play with the win. Valentino had to battle the mound as well. He's there to make the catch for out number 3. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. A 1-2-3. Bottom of the first for Josh Klena. On to the second here from Ewing.
New Jersey is home to the best public schools in the nation. And that didn't happen by accident. It's the result of parents, educators, and communities working together year after year to give our students a world-class education, no matter the challenge. Because parents and educators know that with a shared commitment to our public schools, our children can learn, grow, and thrive. And together, we can keep New Jersey's public schools the best in the nation.
Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org. Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
6, 7, and 8 due up for Notre Dame. Here in the top of the second inning, Simpkins back out for a second inning of work. As we remind you, Haldeman Ford, proud to sponsor today's game on WBCB, celebrating their 50th year of business on Route 33 in Hamilton Township. First pitch, Simpkins fires it in there. Swinging and missing is Sal Kearns, the DH. No balls and a strike to Kearns.
A little too many 3-ball counts in the first inning for Simpkins, more than 20 pitches. I think now maybe he'll get settled in, shake off the nerves a little bit in the first inning.
0-1 to Kearns. That one away. Counts even at 1.
And Kearns is another piece of this Irish lineup at the bottom of the order that just seems to find ways to get on, and this was a bottom of the order that did well last season for the Irish.
Breaker up and away. 2 balls and a strike to Kearns. Two-one from Simpkins on the way. Swung on, lifted, shallow center field, long run. Making the call, but unable to make the catch is Leibowitz, and that one finds green grass in shallow center field. Ended up in no man's land, and I don't think that touched a glove, so that's going to go down as a base hit.
And so far, of course, on a day where there's a lot of wind and cold, we've seen a good amount of pop-ups for 2 pitchers that really like to strike a lot of hitters out. I believe that's our 5th fly ball of the game so far, just here in the top of the second.
Leadoff man aboard in Kearns for the Irish. Here's Jimmy Iacona, the left fielder. Simpkins back working from the stretch. A modest lead for Kearns off first with Greg playing him on the bag. Pitch from Simpkins. Iacona out in front. No balls and a strike.
Iacona last season, a .217 batting average, 10 hits, 46 at-bats. Going to play more of a role this season in the bottom of the order, looking to definitely take that next step forward in his high school career.
0-1. Crosses at the belt for a called strike 2. A lot to work with here for Simpkins. No balls and 2 strikes. Middle infield at double play depth. Simpkins set at the letters. The 0-2 on the way. Breaker just misses. Simpkins wanted strike 3. It's 1-2.
That was a good pitch. Iacona, I think he was frozen, and the umpire just called it a little bit off the plate, but exactly where you wanted, at the knees. Pretty much an unhittable pitch there from the righty Simpkins.
1-2. Pitch is swung on. Line to right. Catch made. Throw back to first. It's a double play. Colton Bush with the 9-3 double play.
Now
everyone seemed a little confused there. Simpkins went from the windup.
Yes.
And that kind of threw everybody off. Kearns started to take off because of that. And that sharp line out to right field, it gave them plenty of time for the double play.
Kearns didn't realize it right away that Simpkins was pitching from the windup, so it was a delayed steal, but that actually worked out beautifully for Ewing, despite, I think, Simpkins not realizing that there was somebody on first base.
Here's Dylan Bundick stepping in for the first time. He gets ahead 1-0.
And credit to Bush for reading that as well, was able to come in on a line drive with the wind the way that it is and made a strong throw to the first baseman, Greg.
Yeah, he did. Great play. Bundick swings and misses at the fastball. It's 1-1. A ball and a strike, 2 down, nobody aboard. A right-hander's pitch to Bundick. Backs him away, 2-1.
Simpkins still having a little bit of trouble here locating the breaking ball here early throughout the first inning and 2/3, up to more than 30 pitches now.
2-1. Bundick swings, lines this one to short, But there to make the catch is Kyle Chianese for out number 3. Well, not your typical 1-2-3 inning, but Simpkins able to get a double play in the inning. A 9-3 one at that. He'll take it. No runs on a hit. Nobody left on base. Zeros remain on the scoreboard. On to the bottom of the second. You're watching high school baseball on WBCB.
Sports season is here, which means practices, games, tournaments, and a lot more time in the car. And with rising gas prices, those trips to the field can really add up. At Team Toyota, we're the MVP of MPG, with a huge selection of new and certified Toyota models, hybrid, electric, or gas. We've got the right option for you to drive. Plus, our award-winning service and collision centers will help keep you in the game. Team Toyota, ready for wherever the season takes you. Stop in today or visit teamlanghorn.com.
Hi, I'm Merrill Reese.
Don't forget, if you miss any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian, the only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week. 4, 5, and 6 for Ewing, Colton Bush, Wilfrey Rodriguez, and Ryan Gregg. Due up in the bottom of the second, Klena inside-out approach, clips the inside part of the plate against Bush and gets ahead 0-1.
Bush is just a freshman, and he is the cleanup hitter for this Ewing team.
Swings and misses at the fastball, and it's 0-2 now to Bush. Well, the freshman with a veteran-like play in the outfield, knowing exactly where to go with the baseball after gloving that line out to right. And set down on 3 pitches this time is Bush. A couple of fastballs consecutively blown past him. Second punch out of the day for Klena. There's one away.
Already the second strikeout, as you said, Mike. Fastball has a lot of late life to it. You can see these Ewing hitters just a little bit too late, and Klena, so far so good. 4 up, 4 down for the right-hander for the Irish.
Wilfrey Rodriguez checks into the box and takes a breaker in there for a called strike. Rodriguez, the second baseman this season, was intended to be the middle infield combination with Simpkins last year, but as we've mentioned, Simpkins set down with an injury last season. Wilfrey got a lot of reps at shortstop as a result. Klena's 1-1. Fouled back. A ball and 2 strikes.
I think that's helped Rodriguez overall just defensively, being able to kind of be the captain of the infield right as the shortstop. Now come back over to second base, but now that he's kind of had an understanding of the other side of the middle infield, I think that's going to help him a lot defensively this season.
Ball and 2 strikes the count. The pitch misses well upstairs. Rodriguez ducking out of the way.
Seems to be getting windier here, Mike. Just a little bit, right?
Yeah. Wind has definitely had its moments.
I think we should probably be at the football field behind us with this type of weather, right?
Gusts continuing to pick up. Count at 2-2. 1 down, nobody aboard. The pitch. Backhand stop by Guire. Counts full.
If you're Klena, feel like you have to go back to the fastball here. Spotted it a few good times so far here in the second. Now on a full count.
Payoff on the way. Just getting a piece as Rodriguez will do it again. Klena's pitch count now up to 26.
And despite both of these teams not having too many hits so far here in the second inning, pitch count, I think for both of these offenses, you have to be pretty happy, especially for the Irish.
3-2 cut on and missed. Got him to chase on an elevated fastball. There's 2 away. Back-to-back swinging strikeouts for Klena, his 3rd of the afternoon.
Well, that's the bread and butter, Mike, for Klena, right? You really changed the eye level throughout that at bat. You're able to get ahead. You got it back to a full count there with some of the breaking balls in the dirt, but you were getting Rodriguez to think low, and then you change the eye levels back up top with a high heater.
Ryan Gregg digs in. Off speed, located nicely by Klena. He's ahead 0-1.
think Greg is one of the most interesting pieces of this Ewing team, right? Corner infielder, big leader, and is going to have hopefully a big season senior year.
Rips this one into center field for a base hit. It's the first knock of the day here for Ewing. Greg gets a fastball he likes and spins it into center field for a knock. 2 down and a base runner for Ewing, and the lineup continues on down. Here's Mason Chisholm.
It's also the first hit of the day for the Blue Devils, as you mentioned, but the first hit for the Blue Devils since Saturday, March 28th. Been more than 10 innings since Ewing has put their last hit on the scoreboard.
Greg gets a lead off first. Klenna from the stretch. First pitch to Chisholm, down and outside. A nice stop by Guire. A ball and no strikes. Klenna peers over at first, gets his sign from Guire. Out in front was Chisholm, and the count evens, a ball and a strike.
And Chisholm is another freshman, but he's one of the best hitters on the team so far throughout the season. Small sample size, but a .250 batting average, 4 RBIs, 2 hits in 8 at-bats.
1-1 from Klenna. Waved at that time again by Chisholm, and it's 1-2. Greg with a lead off first. Bundick still playing him on the bag. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Bottom of the second. Greg in motion, the 1-2 lined and fair down the right field line. Greg being waved around second on the way to third. Brakes being thrown on, runners at the corners, and a successful hit and run here for Ewing with 2 down.
Well, you have to love that, especially from a freshman, right? Just poke the ball, just make bat to ball, right? Make some contact, and Chisholm able to poke this ball down the right field line. Luckily, Nemenka was able to get that ball in before Greg was able to score, but nice hit from the freshman Chisholm, yet again leading the team now in batting average.
First and third, 2 down, Ewing threatening. And Zach Greener comes to the plate. Chisholm leads off first. In motion, Guire pumps. Greg back to the third base bag, and 2 now in scoring position with 2 down.
This is obvious, but a huge at-bat in the game for Greener. Want to find a way to help your pitcher Simpkins, an offense that has struggled in the last 2 games. You can find a way to come through here against Klenna. Be a huge momentum swing for the Blue Devils.
Runners lead off second and third. The pitch to Greener, swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to the Ewing DH.
Greener is another freshman. It just goes to show you Ewing really depending on a lot of these younger players, and you just had Chisholm step up. Let's see if Greener can do the same.
On the ground right side, charging is Liberto. The flip to first is in time over to Bundick for out number 3. Klenna strands a pair, keeps a 0 up on the scoreboard. Through 2 here from Andy Greener Field. And on to the third.
Hi, I'm Merrill Reese. Kessel Dermatology offers top-of-the-line medical-grade skincare products manufactured in the USA. They're tested and developed by a team of board-certified dermatology experts, and they come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Take care of your skin. Schedule an appointment with Kessel Dermatology.
New Jersey is home to the best public schools in the nation. And that didn't happen by accident. It's the result of parents, educators, and communities working together year after year to give our students a world-class education, no matter the challenge. Because parents and educators know that with a shared commitment to our public schools, our children can learn, grow, and thrive. And together, we can keep New Jersey's public schools the best in the nation.
Ewing Mayor Bert Steinman wishing all the Ewing student athletes the best of luck this school term and is proud to sponsor today's game on WBCB. And the Trenton Thunder, a proud sponsor of high school baseball on WBCB. The 2026 season just around the corner. Single game tickets are now on sale. Visit TrentonThunder.com/tickets to learn more today. Simpkins back out to start the top of the third inning. Begins the inning with 33 pitches. Sitting in a good spot so far. He's had to battle to this point, but as has Klenna with a strong push in that last inning there from Ewing. They end up stranding a pair, but something to build off of for Ewing potentially offensively, just proving that you could kind of tack away at a Division I arm like Klenna.
I think Ewing's in a good spot heading into the third, right? The offense, as you said, Mike, picked up some momentum there in the second, had their best inning in more than 10 innings going back to the last game, and Simpkins settled in and got some help from his defense there in the second inning.
Steve Nemenko, the first one in for Notre Dame. It's 9-1-2 to begin the top of the third. He turns away from a breaking ball. A ball and no strikes. 1-0 on the way. Swing and a miss. One from Simpkins. That one catches the inside corner, and it's 1-2.
Nice spot there from Simpkins. Nemenko, you could see, kind of hesitated a little bit, thought about going around. A perfect spot there, pretty much at the knees on the inside part of the plate.
1-2 pitch. Curveball just misses in.
Same pitch this time, just perhaps a little bit more inside, maybe a little bit low, but another good curveball there from Simpkins.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Simpkins ready, the right-hander kicks and deals. Fastball ties him up and taken for a ball. It's 3-2.
Not catching the corner, but you have to love this sequence if you're Simpkins and this Ewing coaching staff. Just great movement and just missing on some of these pitches.
Full count on the pitch. Tapped foul off his foot. Those are even more painful on a day like today.
I think Nemenko is going to feel that one for a long time, at least over the rest of this inning, with how cold it is.
Those are the ones you feel on the bus ride back, too.
Perhaps, yes. Especially on your shin or on your foot. Last thing you want on a day like today.
Simpkins ready, and just as I say so, steps back. Right-hander with a deep breath, toes the rubber. Gets his sign from Ordini. The 3-2 pitch. Fouled back. Nemenko continues to battle, keeps the at-bat alive.
Notre Dame hasn't had that big hit yet, of course, in this game, but some good, very good at-bats. Already seen at least 3 full count at-bats in this game here in the third.
3-2 again from Simpkins. Breaking ball buckles him for a called strike 3.
That was perfect from Simpkins, and we saw that a few times earlier in this at-bat where he went with the curveball, dropped it in, maybe just a little bit off the plate. This time it had Nemenko really fooled, and another strikeout for the right-hander.
Lineup flips over. Here's Rocco Valentino. Flew out to right field his first time up. Simpkins lifts the leg, fires in a fastball away, a ball and no strikes.
Just 2 at-bats, but I really like the way Valentino has set the tone really for this lineup. He's not the tallest of guys, but really knows how to work the zone, and it's been impressive so far now here in his second at-bat.
1-0 from Simpkins. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Simpkins 2-0. Outside, 3 balls and no strikes. .3-0 on the way to Valentino. In there for a called strike. Simpkins peering into Ordini. 3-1 on the way. Outside, ball 4. A 1-out walk here for the Irish.
Valentino alone has seen more than 10 pitches from Simpkins in this game. Ideal for a leadoff hitter, and Valentino now going to head down to first base. Maybe show off some speed, try to get a runner in scoring position for Notre Dame.
Valentino on first. Bonco steps in for the second time. A swinging bunt, weak ground out for Bonco his first time up. Runner in motion, pitches a called strike. Throw to second base is well above the bag. Almost into center field, but a good cover by Chianese to keep it in the infield.
Right on cue, first pitch stolen base for Valentino, and there you go for the Irish. A man in scoring position. Now for the meat of your order with Bonko, Switek, and Guire coming up. Golden opportunity here for the Irish.
Simpkins locating the first pitch nicely, getting ahead 0-1. The pitch on the way. Swinging a ball lifted out towards right center field. Motioning over is Leibowitz. He's there for the catch. Valentino tags from second on the way to third, and he's in standing. 2 down in the first run, 90 feet away for the Irish. I'll bring up Tommy Switek. He walked his first time up. Simpkins trying to work out of another jam.
Let's go, Tommy, let's go.
Working from the stretch with the runner on third base. First pitch to Switek. Off speed is in there for a called strike.
This Ewing defense is giving Switek a lot of room down the left field line. The left fielder, Ashton Ford, kind of over towards left center field, playing a little bit shallow. I mean, if he can get ahead, I'm talking about Switek here, if he can get ahead, poke a ball down the left field line, that would be money.
Swings and lifts this one to right center field. Leibowitz on his horse, and he's there to make the catch for out number 3. The Irish strand another. Simpkins working out of another jam, keeps a 0 up on the scoreboard. We're on to the bottom of the third. The Ewing Bats looking for a response. Still tied at 0.
Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org. Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Hyundai of Trenton at 1655 North Olden Avenue, a proud sponsor of today's contest on WBCB. Hyundai of Trenton, over 1,400 tariff-free cars available at Hyundai of Trenton. A ball and no strikes the count. 9-1-2 due up for Ewing. It's quickly 2-0 now the count to Kyle Sheanise.
You could really say that last inning for Ewing was one of the best half innings they've had all season long offensively, and I know it's somewhat of a small sample size, but the offense really liked what I saw.
Downstairs missing 3 balls and no strikes. Kleina going to have to battle all the way back here against the 9-hole hitter in Sheanise.
Well, this is what Ewing did in the second inning. Worked a lot of counts, put bat to ball.
Outside, ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to turn the lineup over for Ewing, and the leadoff man aboard.
That's now the third of the last 4 hitters for Ewing have now reached base, and that's just something for this offense when you're trying to get things going once again. That's really important just to get base runners, force the pitcher, especially Kleina, to work from the stretch rather than the windup.
Here's Sam Leibowitz, a move over to first before he can see his first pitch of his second at-bat. Leibowitz set down on strikes after working a full count. Right-hander Kleina kicks and deals. Sheanise takes off for second. Guire's throw is in time. Throw on line to beat Sheanise. He tried to swipe the back corner of the bag, but the tag from Liberto able to get him.
That was a great throw from Guire. It had to be perfect, and it was, but even better tag from Liberto, especially on a cold day like today, trying to make sure that your hands don't get frozen. Just a beautiful tag as Chinese was trying to go for the swipe.
1 ball, 1 strike. Now the count to Leibowitz. One down and nobody aboard. Missing upstairs is Klena. 2 balls and a strike to Sam Leibowitz. The center fielder has been flashing the leather of late for Ewing defensively. 2-1. Swing and a foul back.
Klena just hasn't been as sharp with the fastball. That was a much better one there on the last pitch to Leibowitz. But the fastball was really good in the first inning. The last couple innings for Klena just hasn't been able to spot it as well.
2-2 on the way. High upstairs. Counts full. Three-two on the way. And that one missing downstairs for ball 4.
Another base runner for Ewing, and at some point in time, just keep getting base runners. Think you're going to have to cash in eventually, but another really good at-bat from Ewing here against Klena. Just really impressed how they've worked the rider commit so far, especially in the last couple of frames.
Michael Gamboa Ordini steps in. He popped out to A.J. Liberto over at second base back in the first. Missing outside 1-0.
It'll be interesting to see if Ewing tries to swipe another bag here. Just thrown out, but again, with runs just being at a premium, want to be able to get a runner in scoring position and give your team a chance to take the lead with just a base hit.
Klena with a move over to first. Back in plenty of time, Leibowitz. One-0. In there at the knees, a ball and a strike. One shot on the ground towards the middle. Liberto flips to second for one. Bonko to first in time. 4-6-3 double play. Klena gets the pair he needs to end the inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. Another 0 put up to end the frame. We're on to the 4th here from Ewing High School.
Sports season is here, which means practices, games, tournaments, and a lot more time in the car. And with rising gas prices, those trips to the field can really add up. At Team Toyota, we're the MVP of MPG, with a huge selection of new and certified Toyota models, hybrid, electric, or gas. We've got the right option for you to drive. Plus, our award-winning service and collision centers will help keep you in the game. Team Toyota, ready for wherever the season takes you. Stop in today or visit teamlanghorn.com.
April is Autism Awareness Month, and the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office is proud to partner with the Hamilton Police and the Mercer County Police Chiefs Association to bring you Autism Awareness Day on April 11th. Visit mercercountyprosecutor.com to learn more today. 4, 5, and 6 due up for Notre Dame. Zeros on the scoreboard as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Sam Simpkins back out there for Ewing. And a pitcher's duel to this point.
If you like pitching, this is the game you want it to come to. I mean, both right-handers have been really good for Ewing and Notre Dame. Just 3 combined hits, all singles so far in the first 3 innings. And really, too, Mike, the defenses for both of these teams, right, coming to the game, a big question for Ewing was their defense. But both defenses have been strong, making some good plays behind the pitchers, and that's really moved this game along pretty well. Let's see what the 4th inning has in hold for us here on WBCB.
Josh Dwyer to lead things off for Notre Dame. Reached on an error his first time up. Hot shot to third. Off speed. Great pitch from Simpkins. He's really feeling the breaking ball in this one.
And both pitchers have kind of done it so far in 2 different ways. You have Simpkins more with the breaking ball, and you have Klena more with the fastball.
This one lifted. Right side. Backpedaling is Rodriguez to make the catch, and Dwyer set down on the pop out.
and more weak contact, right? That's what we've seen a lot today, really, for both of these pitchers. Simpkins really mixing in the breaking ball very well, keep these hitters off balance, and more weak contact there to second baseman Rodriguez.
Brings up A.J. Liberto. He lined out to center field his first time up. A hot shot send Leibowitz way. First pitch swinging, lifts this one. Similar destination to center. Leibowitz has more time to track it down. Ranges over towards the right center alleyway to make the catch.
Good swing, just unfortunately there for Liberto, just hit it right towards the center fielder Leibowitz. We've seen a few of those today in this game, but it seems like the team who gets the first extra base hit may be the victor in this match with how things are going.
2 down. Here's Sal Kearns, singled his first time up. That fastball catches the outside corner at the knees.
2 quick outs, too, for Simpkins. That's especially going to help that pitch count. Just a little bit over 50 pitches here in the fourth.
0-1 away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Simpkins 1-1 from the righty. Liner towards the middle, into center field for a base hit. A low liner that turned into a worm burner and scoots into center, a 2-out base knock for Notre Dame. Kearns, he's 2 for 2.
Kearns definitely seeing the baseball, I think, better than anybody so far today here on this Thursday morning. Another knock, as you said, Mike, this time right up the middle, and some 2-out base runner, maybe some 2-out magic here for Notre Dame.
Here's Jimmy Iacona. 2 down, Kearns on first. Simpkins from the stretch, he comes set. First pitch to Iacona, off speed, off the plate.
And Iacona did hit into that weird 9-3, the all-common 9-3 double play in his first at-bat, but he really scorched the baseball to the right fielder Bush, put a good swing on it. See what he can do here, but definitely expect maybe another line drive from Iacona.
1-0. This one shot on the ground towards short. Giannis takes it the short way to second base and steps on it for the final out. No runs on a hit, a man left on base. Zeros remain on the scoreboard. On to the bottom of the fourth. The Ewing offense heads back to work.
I'm Merrill Reese. Kessel Dermatology offers top-of-the-line medical-grade skincare products manufactured in the USA. They're tested and developed by a team of board-certified dermatology experts, and they come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Take care of your skin. Schedule an appointment with Kessel Dermatology.
Today's game on WBCB brought to you in part by Ewing Mayor Bert Steinman, wishing all the Ewing students the best of luck this school term. A cold, windy morning still, as I keep saying afternoon, but it is just 11, if that. A couple moments shy of 11 a.m. Some morning baseball for you on WBCB. Sam Simpkins will lead things off here for Ewing. Pitcher's duel continues as we move to the bottom of inning number 4. And the first pitch from Simpkins, or from Klenna to Simpkins, is in there for a called strike.
For the first 3.5 innings, though, I think Ewing has had the better at-bats, especially over the last few frames here against Klenna, so hopefully they can put together something here in the fourth.
Breaking ball misses high. Simpkins drops the bat and his head to get out of the way. 1-1.
Besides a couple strikeouts early in this game, they put the ball in play.
Out in front was Simpkins, able to get a piece of that one. Fouls it away, 1-2. A ball and 2 strikes. The pitch from Klenna is upstairs, 2-2. We talked about it at the top of the broadcast, but the cold weather impacting many things, but gripping off-speed pitches seems to be tough for both pitchers at times. Simpkins swings and lifts this one in the infield. Valentino backpedaling and making the catch as the wind sends him back quite a bit. Still able to haul it in.
It is a real tough time to pull in any pop-up. You can see Valentino was kind of swinging every which way and eventually got a backpedal. It's already our 5th infield pop-up of this game here in the 4th inning. So these infielders have to be ready, especially with these around 25-mile-per-hour winds.
Nasty off-speed from Klenna in there against Bush, 0-1. Bush set down on 3 pitches his first time up.
Bush is a freshman, caught a little bit off guard with the speed and velocity from Klenna in his first at-bat.
That off-speed pitch misses, 1-1. You mentioned those 5 pop-ups, Ewing with 3 of them. 2 belong to Simpkins. 1-1 is in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike to Colton Bush. Klenna winds and fires. The swing coming up empty for Bush. It's 2-2 now. Two balls, 2 strikes. Klenna with his sign from Guire, the pitch. Swinging a ball lifted towards shallow center field. Switek on the run. He's there to make the catch. 2 down.
In addition to a lot of infield pop-ups, a lot of line-outs to center field so far in this matchup. A nice swing there from Bush, but hit it on a line right to Switek.
Wilfrey Rodriguez will check in for the 2nd time today. He's 0 for 1 with a swinging strikeout.
Well, after somewhat of a lengthy 2nd and 3rd inning, Klenna has been much more effective here in the 4th. Really, both of these pitchers have moved through the 4th inning pretty quickly. Still 1 more out to get for the rider commit here in the 4th, but both pitchers off to a good start here in the 4th, getting some quick outs.
1-0 the count to Rodriguez. Downstairs, 2-0 now.
I think one of the challenges, too, we were talking to some of the Notre Dame coaching staff before the game. They came back from Myrtle Beach a few weeks ago, and just changing the weather so much, right, going from the warmer weather to the colder weather, I think especially for the pitchers, can really affect them a little bit more.
Wilfrey Rodriguez ahead, 3 balls and no strikes. Right-hander Klenna kicks and deals. Fires in a fastball. It's 3-1.
Rodriguez taking all the way there, just trying to get a 2-out base run for Greg, who had a good single in his first at-bat in the 2nd.
3-1. Tapper left side foul. From 3-0 to 3-2, Klenna trying to battle all the way back.
Klenna's had a good amount of 3-ball counts in this game as well, but he's only walked 2 batters, and both of them came consecutively in the 3rd. He's been able to finish the job on a lot of these 3-ball counts early.
Count full. Klenna trying to win the battle. Rodriguez trying to keep the inning alive. The payoff pitch in the dirt for ball 4.
Perhaps a broadcaster jinx there, but a strong at-bat from Rodriguez.
We'll bring up Ryan Gregg. He's 1 for 1 with a single.
I'm really surprised, Mike, really both of these teams, but I think especially the Notre Dame defense a little bit more, how far they're playing off the left field line, especially for a tall right-handed hitter like Gregg. If you can just kind of stick the bat out there, be a little bit early, poke the ball down the line, I think that should easily score the first run of the day.
Klenna from the stretch. First pitch to Gregg is in there. Crosses at the belt, 0-1.
It's, of course, all about doing it in the cold weather that is the hard factor.
Yeah.
But, I mean, really, still the left fielder, Icona, is playing far off the line.
Move over to first from Klenna to check on Rodriguez, back in plenty of time. Pitch. Off speed is in there. It's a 2-strike count now to Gregg as Klenna tons to work with ahead 0-2.
Rodriguez is playing a little bit of the cat and mouse game with Klenna over there at first base. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to go and really sink in motion, maybe get a stolen base. Klenna checking on him again.
Another very deliberate move over to first from Klenna. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Rodriguez gets his lead. The pitch to Gregg on the way. Tapper, right side of the diamond, charging, throwing to first in time. Great play from A.J. Liberto. He's been tested twice, and he's lived up to the test. Klenna strands another, leaves a man on base, and keeps a 0 on the scoreboard. We're on to the top of the 5th. Here from Ewing.
New Jersey is home to the best public schools in the nation. And that didn't happen by accident. It's the result of parents, educators, and communities working together year after year to give our students a world-class education, no matter the challenge. Because parents and educators know that with a shared commitment to our public schools, our children can learn, grow, and thrive. And together, we can keep New Jersey's public schools the best in the nation.
Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org.
Haldeman Ford celebrating 50 years of business on Route 33 in Hamilton Township. Haldeman Ford, neighbors helping neighbors, is what Haldeman Ford does and will continue to do. Scoreless and on to the 5th. Simpkins back out for Ewing. 8, 9, and 1 due up for Notre Dame.
Well, we're only about an hour into this one. We're through 4 innings, so you know the pitcher's doing something right. Both of these pitchers very effective so far throughout the first 4 innings. Simpkins had a strong 4th inning last time. Only allowed a single, got 2 quick outs, and Simpkins just around 60 pitches entering this inning.
Dylan Bundick digs in. He'll lead things off for Notre Dame.
Have to say, too, Mike, I mean, Simpkins threw more than 20 pitches in the first inning. The last 3 frames, he's only needed about 38 pitches to get through those 3 innings, so much more effective over the last 3 innings.
Good pitch from Simpkins, gets Bundick to swing through it. No balls and a strike. Oh, 1 from Simpkins. Upstairs, Bundick taking. Irish have had base runners in this one. They've stranded 4 through their first 4 innings. 1-1, checked foul, and it's 1-2.
Simpkins once again just working ahead, saw that a lot in the 4th inning, and Bundick behind in the count 1-2, and that just gives Simpkins so many more options, so many more pitches to waste, if you will, can really allow him to use that curveball.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Nasty off-speed from Simpkins. Had Bundick well out in front. 1 away.
And that's the challenge if you're facing Simpkins, right? You fall behind 1-2, and then so many different weapons that Simpkins can go with here. Looked like a changeup on that pitch to Bundick and spotted really well at the knees. Not much you can do if you are the Notre Dame first baseman. 1 away here in the 5th.
Second punch out for Simpkins on the afternoon. The first one came in this spot when it was Steve Nemenko at the plate. But a substitution here for Joe Drulis, a pinch hitter coming on for him. It's Jay Johnson taking his place.
And the amount of strikeouts, I think, also goes to show you how good Simpkins has been. Just only 2 strikeouts. He's forced a lot of contact, and a lot of the contact has been weak contact. So that's why Simpkins has pitched well here into the 5th inning.
So Johnson will step in to face Simpkins. We'll dig in from the left side. One away. First pitch from Simpkins to Johnson, taken away. A bit downstairs, 1-0.
I think Notre Dame is also hoping that a little bit changing the view for Simpkins might switch things up. A lot of righties in this Notre Dame lineup, so you bring in the pinch hitter Johnson from the left-handed side.
Next pitch to Johnson is high. 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0 pitch. Swinging a drive out towards right center field. This one's carrying, going back. It's going to one-hop off the wall. Johnson's on his way to second base. He'll stroll in standing. A one-out double for Notre Dame off the bat of Jay Johnson.
Well, there's the first extra base hit of the day, Mike. It comes with one out here in the fifth, and that's just a great swing, right? Oppo power to the right center, or I'm sorry, not Oppo power, the lefty hitting the ball to the right center field gap, but still just a good, smooth swing, and that sets up the top of the order with a runner in scoring position for Notre Dame.
Rocco Valentino will dig in from the left side, back-to-back lefties, and a courtesy runner will come on for Johnson to take over in scoring position as they want a little extra speed.
And you have to give a lot of credit to Johnson, too, especially on a cold day like today, right? You're trying to stay fresh on the bench, don't know when you're going to get that opportunity. It ends up coming here in the fifth, and not only was he fresh, smoked that ball into the right center field gap.
It's Brady Johnson taking over on the base paths for Jay Johnson.
The Johnsons for Notre Dame. Johnson squared.
Rocco Valentino with a runner in scoring position and one down. Walked his last time up and stole a base. Simpkins a peek at second in the pitch. Nasty off speed in there on the outside corner, 0-1.
Rocco's had two of the best at-bats of the day, too, for this Irish lineup. Really flew out to right field, worked a full count. Last time also worked a full count, able to eventually get the walk. I've seen a lot of pitches from Simpkins today.
0-1. Quickly 0-2. Fastball from Simpkins living on the outside edge.
It's a good spot. Basically an unhittable pitch for the left-handed batter. Only going to roll that ball into the ground. 0-2. Good job by Simpkins to work back after the double.
0-2 breaking ball. That one just misses down and away.
Simpkins couldn't believe that. I think he's got squeezed a little bit today with some of those breaking balls. Again, a ton of movement. That time maybe just the movement took it a little bit below the zone to Valentino.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Brady Johnson leading off second. Simpkins 1-2. Hot shot through the left side of the diamond. Johnson's going to be held up at third. The throw comes in on a loop to Chisholm at third base.
Ashton Ford was ready to go to throw that ball from left field. Good relay in to keep Johnson over there third. But Valentino, again, just makes good contact, able to get this ball through the hole on the left side. That's really the third just great at-bat of the day from Valentino.
Here's Joey Bonco, 0 for 2 so far today. Runners at first and third with one down. Let's see how aggressive Notre Dame wants to be with Valentino on first.
It's only the second time all day, too, that we've seen one of these teams string together back-to-back hits. First time today for the Irish, so they put together back-to-back hits.
There goes Valentino. Pitch misses in the dirt. Kicked around at the feet by Ordini, and everybody's safe. Second and third, one down. 2 in scoring position for the Irish. A base hit could score a pair.
And Bonco is exactly the guy you want up. You know, he hit more than 300 last season. A big part of this offense usually puts together contact, and even a fly ball should get a run home here.
Runners lead, 1-0. Swing and a foul off the top of the bat.
You're a little surprised, Mike, that Ewing is not playing the infield playing back here, especially the middle infielders. Now they creep in the third baseman, Chisholm.
Simpkins still going from the stretch. A deep breath from the right-hander. The pitch. Missing off the back foot. 2 balls and a strike now to Joey Bonco.
Ewing once again giving Bonco a pretty large hole there on the left side of the infield with Chisholm creeped in the grass and Chinese playing pretty much up the middle toward the second base bag.
Up and outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. First base is open with 1 away here in the top of the 5th.
Also doesn't appear to have any bullpen action for Ewing, as now Simpkins above 70 pitches. He's thrown more than he threw the other day against Trenton, 63 pitches against Trenton on opening day.
3-1 taken high above the letters for ball 4. The bases are loaded, 1 down, and Tommy Switek, the man at the dish for the Irish. Switek, a walk his first time up. He flew out to center his last time up. I'm sure the Irish would take another fly out here. It would bring home a run.
This is where I think I would go out and talk with Simpkins here. 75 pitches now, bases loaded.
Fastball misses outside, 1-0.
And he's missed 4 of the last 5 pitches out of the zone, and most of them haven't been close. And here we go. Here's the catcher, Gamboa Ordini, going to have a conversation with the righty for Ewing.
Don't forget, you miss any of today's action, read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian, the only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian. Top of the 5th. Runners on every base for Notre Dame. They threaten.
Simpkins, too, has almost thrown 20 pitches now in this inning. And again, he's making his first start since 2024. Have to think maybe the length isn't built up a ton. Surprised that Ewing doesn't have any bullpen action yet.
Switek awaits. First pitch, or next pitch to him is there on the corner. It's 1-1.
Good comeback, get me over fastball there against Switek, now 1-1.
Runners get their lead. Corners in, middle infield at double play depth with 1 down. 1-1, breaker buckles Switek. He gets out of the way. It's 2-1. Chisholm at third, playing very close to the bag. A big hole on the left side of the diamond. Pitch to Switek, turned on, left field, carrying a bit, backpedaling, and there to make the catch is Ford. Tagging from third, Johnson. On the way to third, Valentino. He's in with a head-first slide. Runners at the corners, and the first run comes across in favor of the Irish on Switek's sac fly.
Well, nice job from Switek just to put, again, to make contact, bat to ball, and this time able to carry it enough out to Ashton Ford, who did have to backpedal a little bit with the wind. But our first run of the day is on the board here in the 5th, and with the way both of these pitchers are pitching, that may be all Notre Dame needs.
2 down, runners at the corners. Here's Josh Guire. Runner in motion is Bonko. Guire swings and fouls it back. Bonko will have to head back to first.
Now bullpen action, it does appear for Ewing behind Simpkins, as Simpkins has now reached 79 pitches. That may be Jake Bush warming up for Ewing. We'll see if this might be the last batter as well for Simpkins.
No balls and a strike. Time is called by Guire. Runner in motion, Bonko. Pitch taken, a called strike. The throw cut off by Rodriguez. Runner comes home, and he can't get it out of his glove. Valentino scores 2-0 Notre Dame.
That's just one of those plays where for Ewing you would rather hold on to the baseball there, and I don't really think it was the fact the Chinese couldn't get the ball out of his glove, or maybe that was Rodriguez. I apologize. Nobody was covering the plate. Gamboa Ordini was in front of the plate too much, and I think the second baseman Rodriguez was just waiting for someone to cover home, and just great awareness there from Valentino to take the second run of the day.
No balls, 2 strikes to Guire. Bonko in scoring position at second. Pitch taken high.
It's also a play where if you are going to throw down a second base, you probably want your pitcher Simpkins to be a little closer towards the plate to possibly field that baseball. Simpkins kind of was just standing on the mound.
1-2 lifted out towards center field. Leibowitz backpedaling, has it measured, and he's there for out number 3. 2 runs come across for Notre Dame. They jump out in front 2-0 onto the bottom of the 5th here from Ewing High School.
Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org. Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Trenton Thunder baseball is just around the corner for another fun summer here in 2026. And single game tickets are on sale now. Visit TrentonThunder.com/tickets to get yours today. Josh Klena out for another inning of work, bottom of the 5th. First pitch to him. It's Chisholm out there at the dish, and he swings and misses. It's 0-1.
Klena hasn't been the sharpest today, but he's through 4 unscathed, almost 70 pitches, worked around some good contact as well as some trouble in some of the earlier innings, looking for a shutdown inning.
Off speed in there for a called strike 2.
It was a favorable 0-1 strike call there. Make it 0-2 for Klena.
The 0-2 from Klena. Swing and a miss.
Chisholm definitely was waiting for the fastball there, didn't get it. Klena going to the off speed to begin the 5th, and there's one away. Another strikeout for Klena. That is his 4th of the game.
First pitch on the way to Greener. Lines this one fair down the right field line, and a one-out base knock for Greener.
Bottom of the order for Ewing has been really strong. That's a 3rd hit for the bottom of the lineup for the Blue Devils, and that's where all 3 of their hits have come from today. They had one from Gregg, one from Chisholm, now one from Greener. The 6, 7, 8 batters in their lineup. Let's see if the top of the lineup can do something, perhaps create some offense for Ewing.
Here's Kyle Chianese stepping in. A walk his first time up. Swings and misses at the hearty fastball that time from Klena. Move over to first, back in plenty of time.
Seems like some rain also beginning to fall. Very light rain, but any moisture, especially in addition to the cold, could make things even tougher for the starters.
Pitch swung on, and foul piece gets a piece of our home plate umpire, Jim Peterson.
I think he's also going to feel that one for a little bit, Mike.
Yeah.
Day like today. A lot of protection under there for the umps, but not going to protect you all that much in the cold weather like today.
Klena ahead 0-2. The pitch on the way upstairs.
Unless maybe there's a heated vest for the home plate umpire. That'd be nice. Maybe we should invest in some of those for some of these colder baseball games.
1-2. Greener off first. The pitch on the way. Fouled off the hands, out of play. Still 1-2 the count.
There's a ton of netting behind the plate here at Andy Greener Field, and somehow that ball did make its way over the first base dugout, kind of the one area where there isn't a ton of screenage.
A long look in for Klena. The righty comes set. 1-2. Off speed, swing and a miss. Got him well out in front. Second punch out of the inning, 5th on the afternoon for Klena.
Well, Chinese was a little bit late on the previous pitch, fouled it over the first base dugout. So what does Klena do? Decides to go to the breaking ball, as Chinese was expecting that fastball, and Chinese way out in front.
Move over to check on Greener at first. He's back in time. Pitch on the way. Miscue between Guire and Klenna. Still gets the strike call as Klenna went down to, or excuse me, Guire went down to block it.
A little bit of a cross up.
No balls and a strike. And another move over. One to Leibowitz on the way. That breaking ball misses. A ball and a strike. The wind continues to pick up, blowing from left to right across the diamond. Fastball pumped in by Klenna. It's 1-2.
It's a heater you're just not going to do a whole lot with if you're Leibowitz. Another really strong spot from Klenna. He's at 80 pitches, and the fastball perhaps looking the best it has looked today here in the fifth.
1-2 on the way. Just outside. Klenna was ready to run into the dugout. 2-2. Two balls, two strikes. Two down. Pitch from Klenna. Runner in motion. Swing and a ball popped up. Heading towards foul play. And out of room. Still 2-2 the count. Peek over at first from Klenna. He's set at the letters. And another move over. Steady breeze continues to blow. Two balls, two strikes, two down. Klenna's pitch. Swing and a ball lifted towards right field. Backpedaling Nemenko. He can't make the catch. Off his glove. Leibowitz to second. On the way to third is Greener. He's in safely. Second and third, 2 outs. Ewing is threatening.
I think Ewing might have scored their first run of the day. Greener kind of stopped halfway in between first and second, and then when he realized the right fielder couldn't hang on to that baseball, kind of picked up speed again. But regardless, a good opportunity here for Ewing, right? You have 2 runners on, 2 outs, and it's time for your catcher to try to come through. He's put the ball in play a couple times. Gamboa Ordini, a pop-up to the second baseman and a double play.
Yeah, late read on that one from Greener. Indeed, there were 2 outs. If he was off with contact, he should have scored easily. Gamboa Ordini at the plate. The first pitch to him. Misses 1-0.
And that's the deal with this wind. Really, no out can be, or no ball that's hit in play can be an easy out. Have to make sure you're running through those, especially for any fly ball or pop-up.
1-0 in there at the knees. A ball and a strike.
Been impressed with the way that Klenna has really battled through some adversity, even when there's been some misplays behind him or just maybe some calls that haven't gone his way. He's definitely battled through the adversity and getting close to 90 pitches, but let's see if he can get out of this trouble situation.
1-1 is down and outside. 2 balls and a strike.
I think at this point, too, if you're Gamboa or Ordini, you're really hunting for the fastball, especially on a 2-1 count with how many pitches Klenna has thrown. I think he's going to depend on that here in this at-bat.
In the dirt. Great stop by Guire. 3 balls and 1 strike the count. First base is open for Ewing.
There is some bullpen action as well. Matthew Smith is warming up for the Irish. Klenna now just about at 90 pitches, 88 before he throws this 3-1 pitch.
Here it comes. 3-1, popped up, right field, long run. Nemenko backpedaling now, and he's there for out number 3. Klenna strands a pair and keeps a 0 on the scoreboard. Irish still lead this one 2-0. We're on to the 6th.
sports season is here, which means practices, games, tournaments, and a lot more time in the car. And with rising gas prices, those trips to the field can really add up. At Team Toyota, we're the MVP of MPG, with a huge selection of new and certified Toyota models, hybrid, electric, or gas. We've got the right option for you to drive. Plus, our award-winning service and collision centers will help keep you in the game. Team Toyota, ready for wherever the season takes you. Stop in today or visit teamlanghorn.com.
Ewing Mayor Bert Steinman, proud to sponsor today's game on WBCB, wishing all the Ewing student athletes the best of luck. Some defensive adjustments here for Ewing. Ryan Gregg obviously remains at first base, but a change on the mound as we have a new pitcher coming in for Ewing. It's Jake Bush taking over for Sam Simpkins. Simpkins moves to shortstop. And they take the former shortstop Kyle Chianese over to second base. Wilfrey Rodriguez moves to right field. And that is just about all the defensive adjustments for Ewing.
Bush is a tall kid, 5'10", listed as here on the roster. For Bush, made his high school pitching debut. He's just a freshman the other day against Hopewell Valley on March 28th. That was a 13-3 loss for Ewing in that game. Was not able to get out of the inning that he started. Did allow 2 earned runs on 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, no walks, but did have some trouble in terms of some long counts, some foul balls against him. But now making his second career appearance here in high school. Again, tall right-hander about to enter the game for Ewing.
Colton Bush tasked with facing 5, 6, and 7 for Notre Dame. A.J. Liberto, Sal Kearns, and Jimmy Iacona. Liberto 0 for 2, a line out to center and a fly out to center.
If you're Notre Dame, obviously want to find a way to add on here in the 6th inning, already up by 2 runs. But again, with just the way the wind has played a factor with some of these fly balls, can't really take anything for granted. And the Irish offense is going to go back to work, try to extend this 2-0 lead here at Andy Greener Field.
Liberto digs in. The first man Bush will see. Freshman lifts the leg. First pitch to Liberto. Bunt. Right side. Bush fields. Throws to first in time to get the speeding Liberto 1 down.
That is such a tough play for a pitcher to make, especially a freshman. Have to get off the hill, different of an angle, just trying to throw that ball to first base. And not only did Bush field his position well, but he made a really strong and accurate throw to the first baseman, Gregg. Just really well done all around on the PFP and 1 away in the 6th.
Brings up Sal Kearns, the DH from the left side. Kearns 2 for 2, couple of singles. First pitch to him. Up and out, 1-0.
I think if you're Ewing, one of the positives in this game, despite being down by 2, has just been the defense. It's been much better today than it has been in the first 3 games. Did have an error earlier in this game by the third baseman Chisholm, but you saw a nice play from Gamboa Ordini behind the plate to begin the game. Good play off the mound there by the pitcher Bush. Also a couple good putouts in the outfield as well.
1-0 to Kearns. Can't hold up the check swing. It's 1-1. Bush lifts the leg and the pitch. That one catches Kearns. 1-1 hits him on the arm. Sends him to first.
Bush just trying to go inside with that fastball, perhaps trying to brush Kearns off the plate. Just having a nice day at the plate with 2 singles, but a little bit too far inside there from the right-hander for the Blue Devils, so now we'll have to pitch from the stretch for the first time.
Jimmy Iacona due up here for Notre Dame. I believe a pinch runner is going to come on for Kearns, and it is. This time around, it's Billy Tierney doing the pinch running for Notre Dame, or the courtesy running.
think he's going to get called back from first base here.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, so
Iacona is signaling him to come into the dugout, and now he will do so.
So now Kearns has to go back out. All right, well.
Not sure the reasoning behind that, but we'll go with it here in the 6th.
Could have made an exception on a cold day, but I guess not. One down, one aboard. Pitch to Iacona. Fastball at the knees, 0-1. Top of inning number 6, Notre Dame leads 2-0. Kearns on first after being hit by a pitch. 0-1 from Bush. Backs Iacona off. One. Inside, 2 balls and a strike.
There's definitely some movement from Bush's pitches. We saw that even in the last at bat on the pitch that hit Kearns moving inside, and a lot of these hitters kind of brushing off the plate a little bit. So definitely some late movement to the fastball here for Bush, just a little bit too far inside on these hitters.
Iacona swings and taps one foul. Brings the count even again, this time at 2.
Of course, you don't want your pitcher throwing balls or, close to hitting batters, but especially as a freshman, I think it's important that, he's not afraid to throw inside to some of these batters. I know that some of the younger pitchers can be, so that's impressive here from Bush.
2-2. Downstairs, counts full. Bush gets his sign, he comes set. The 3-2. And a called strike 3 on the outside corner.
Can't place it much better than that, Mike. First strikeout there for Bush, the 3rd of his high school career, first of the game here against Notre Dame, and now 2 outs in the 6th inning. Bundick coming up.
Looks like a pinch hitter going to come in here for Bundick to take his place. That's A.J. Rivera coming in to hit in place of Bundick.
And this Notre Dame team has a lot of depth. That's one of their strong suits. A lot of younger players last year had the ability to get some good quality playing time, and now most of those younger players have stepped up to be starters this year, but still a good amount of depth on the bench for Notre Dame to use, and they elect to go with Rivera here.
First pitch to him, swing and a ball, dribbled towards third, and it's called foul, as that one did sound like it got off the foot of Rivera, but he'll head on back. No balls and a strike.
The Irish already had one pinch hit hit earlier today in this game. It was a double from Johnson in the last inning in the 5th. See if Rivera can follow that up here in the 6th inning. 2 outs and that runner on first base.
0-1. Quickly 0-2. 2 down, Kearns on first. Irish leading 2-0. Bush trying to keep it right there. A peek over at first to check on Kearns. Comes set at the letters. 0-2 on the way. Upstairs goes to the backstop. Kearns will advance 90 feet.
That's some of the smaller things defensively for Ewing over these first 4 games that they definitely want to correct, right? You have 2 outs, down by 2, looking for the shutdown inning from Bush, and on a 1-1 pitch, your catcher kind of just hits off the glove, tried to snow cone it a little bit, did Gamboa or Dini, and you just want to correct those things as the season goes on because now you have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
1-2, swing and a miss. Bush had him fooled on the breaking ball, and he strands a man, picks up 2 Ks in the inning, and leaves a runner. 2-0 the score. We're on to the bottom of the 6th. Ewing bats, looking for a response.
New Jersey is home to the best public schools in the nation. And that didn't happen by accident. It's the result of parents, educators, and communities working together year after year to give our students a world-class education, no matter the challenge. Because parents and educators know that with a shared commitment to our public schools, our children can learn, grow, and thrive. And together, we can keep New Jersey's public schools the best in the nation.
Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org.
Celebrating 50 years of business and supporting your community, Haldeman Ford on Route 33 in Hamilton Township. Neighbors helping neighbors is what Haldeman Ford does, celebrating their 50th year of business. 89 pitches for Josh Klenna. He is back out to start the 6th for Notre Dame. A 2-0 advantage for the Irish here on the road. It's 3-4-5 due up for Ewing. Sam Simpkins will lead things off.
Going back to the second half of last season, Klenna only threw more than 5 innings one time from the middle part of April to the latter part of the season. That was against Cinnaminson, 7 innings that day, and he's working into the 6th here.
First pitch to Simpkins, misses upstairs, 1-0. Breaker misses down, 2-0.
There is bullpen action, 2 behind Klenna, now over 90 pitches. You would imagine the first base runner may mean the hook for Klenna here in the 6th.
Continuing to get loose for Notre Dame in the pen. Klenna behind 3 balls, no strikes to Simpkins. 0 for 2, a couple of pop-outs to Valentino at third today.
All 3 pitches really haven't been close to begin this inning.
Neither was that one. 4-pitch walk. Leadoff man aboard. This looks like it might be it for Klenna. Potentially. Joe Drulis makes his way towards the home plate umpire, Jim Peterson. Guire and Klenna discussing things out on the mound. And now Bo Burrows will head on out. Have a conversation with Klenna and Guire and likely buy some more time.
If that is the end for Klenna, really impressive performance.
It is the end. They request the baseball from Klenna. That's going to do it. And a pitching change coming on here for Notre Dame. Pitching change for the Irish. We'll step aside here on WBCB. Tell you all about Matt Smith when we return.
Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Sports season is here, which means practices, games, tournaments, and a lot more time in the car. And with rising gas prices, those trips to the field can really add up. At Team Toyota, we're the MVP of MPG, With a huge selection of new and certified Toyota models, hybrid, electric, or gas, we've got the right option for you to drive. Plus, our award-winning service and collision centers will help keep you in the game.
Matt Smith into the game, takes over in relief. And the first pitch is taken high.
Well, Smith only has one career high school pitching appearance. Came last year against Robbinsville, 2 innings pitched that day. So we'll see what's in store here for his second appearance, but out of the bullpen, 2 straight balls. And again, to lead off this inning with 4 straight balls thrown by the starter, Klena. So it's been 6 straight out of the zone for Notre Dame pitching to begin the 6th.
2-0. Smith, the pitch. 3-0. That one misses high. Tying run at the plate in Jake Bush. Ahead 3-0. Simpkins on first with good speed. Pitch from Smith. In there, thigh high for a called strike, 3-1.
If you're Bush, I would take one more as well. I mean, on a 3-1 count, that one was at the knees. Simpkins obviously isn't in any hurry to go anywhere with his run. Still not the equalizer. 3-1, I expect Bush to take another.
3-1, swing and a drive to left field. That's going to get down for a hit. Iacona gets to it quickly. Simpkins throws on the brakes. The first 2 are aboard here for Ewing.
Well, 3-1, perfect pitch to hit if you're Bush, and he does, and able to rope that into left field for a single. And talked about it for majority of this game. Left fielder's been playing off the line. That one falls in front of the left fielder, and Ewing appears to be in business here in the 6th.
It looks like another pitching change coming here for Notre Dame. Looks like they're going to turn to the freshman here, Nick Leck. Smith, a quick appearance for him out of the pen. He seems a bit confused as he comes off the mound. And another pitching change here for Notre Dame. Nick Leck comes into the game. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. Ewing threatening. The tying run is aboard. We'll be back here on WBCB.
New Jersey is home to the best public schools in the nation. And that didn't happen by accident. It's the result of parents, educators, and communities working together year after year to give our students a world-class education, no matter the challenge. Because parents and educators know that with a shared commitment to our public schools, our children can learn, grow, and thrive. And together, we can keep New Jersey's public schools the best in the nation.
Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org. Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365.
Out. New pitcher into the game for Notre Dame. It's Nick Leck, the freshman. Left-hander. Toes the rubber. Runners lead off first and second base. And the pitch to Rodriguez. Runners bluff. Pitch taken down. And it's 1-0.
Surprising pitching change there for Notre Dame after just one batter Smith faces. Notre Dame does make a pitching change. Small ball here for Ewing may be the way to go. You saw the batter show bunt to begin things with runners on first and second.
Rodriguez is showing bunt. Nasty curve from Leck. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And I think on a day like today, that's a specialty. If you can get a bunt down and force the fielders with most likely cold hands to have to barehand that ball off of the possibly wet grass and make a good play. Could be tough. I like the idea.
Rodriguez tries to bunt, but cannot get it down in fair play. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Rodriguez tried to poke at that ball, and that's really not what you want to do. Tried to bounce it into the ground, but the bat a little bit too high there, and that forced the foul ball. And we'll see if he decides to swing. Showing bunt here with 2 strikes.
The 1-2 pitch. Bunted beautifully in fair play. Leck goes to first. It's not in time. Bases loaded for Ewing. Nobody out.
Exactly what the Ewing coaching staff ordered. A good bunt by Rodriguez. I was a little surprised he was still doing it on a 1-2 count, but that forced Leck to come off the mound, and it's a tough play, especially for that lefty to throw to first base. Rodriguez is safe, and Ewing has its best chance perhaps of the season offensively here against Notre Dame, down by 2.
Bases loaded, nobody out. Ryan Gregg, the senior, at the plate. First pitch to him, blocked by Guire. Runners stay put. Ball and no strikes. Gregg 1 for 2. His single came back in the 2nd inning.
And Mike, you talked about it in the pregame show. Just Gregg in his career here at Ewing has been one of the main staples in terms of a leader, and this is a great opportunity here for Ewing. Bases still full.
Fastball, a called strike below the knees. Looked pretty low. Lefty Leck, he's ready. 1-1. Tapped foul back behind home plate. 1-2.
And that 1-0 pitch called a strike just changes the complete course of the at-bat, right? Makes it 1-1, and then you see Gregg forced to swing at a pitch that was chasing him a little bit inside. Now behind in the count, has to battle. 1-2.
The freshman comes set at the letters and steps off.
This is a huge spot, too, for Leck, just a freshman. As he said, 6'2" lefty, but entered into the game, had to face the bunt, field the bunt right away from Rodriguez. Really tough spot for the southpaw.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Guire holds on to it. Leck punches him out with the curveball.
Gregg definitely not expecting the breaking ball there, and that's a really good pitch. Again, just broke a little bit away from the batter there, Gregg, and was able to be low enough, but still somewhat close to the zone to force a swing.
First pitch to Chisholm is in there, a called strike with the breaking ball from Leck.
And this has been the challenge for this Ewing offense. They're able to get base runners, just haven't been able to get them home. And with the bases loaded, nobody out, now 1 out and behind in the count here for Chisholm.
0-1. Curveball misses. There's something about freshman pitchers being thrusted into these situations, specifically for Notre Dame. I remember being on the call a couple of years ago when Josh Klena was a freshman, working out of a bases-loaded jam on their own field against Hamilton West. Leck in a similar spot, the 1-1. Gets away. Here comes Simpkins. Flip to home isn't there. First run for Ewing comes across on the wild pitch.
And not only does the run come in to score, both runners also move up 90 feet on the base path, so a single could give Ewing the lead. And again, just a tough spot for Leck. I know you were talking about Klena, Mike, and just now he's the ace of this team, so that really, I'm sure, helped him being in those spots as a freshman. But this pitch just too low, and there's not a ton of room behind the backstop there, but was able to get far enough away from the catcher.
Only force at first. Runners at second and third. Infield on the grass. Chisholm takes outside on a breaking ball. 3 balls and 1 strike.
I like the pitch selection, just the way that Ewing has really went about their at-bats today. They haven't put together a ton of hits against this pitching staff, but still working the count and really laying off a lot of those pitches lower in the zone.
3-1 from Leck. Downstairs, ball 4, and the bases are loaded again. Guire will head out from behind home plate to talk with Leck.
Be interesting to see how Notre Dame decides to line things up here defensively. Looks like right now they're going to try to cut the run down at the plate with the infield in, but both at bats that Greeners had today, he's poked the ball to the right side. So does that really force perhaps the right fielder Numenko to maybe come in a little bit after that bloop single in his last at bat? I mean, he's a righty. You think he'd pull the ball here, but has some opposite field contact. Have to be aware of that if you're this Irish defense.
Taking over in right field, I just noticed, is Dean Garbolino for Notre Dame. Took over for Menko, who was out there for the previous 5 innings. A ball and no strikes to count to Zach Greener. He singled back in the 5th. (1-0) in there at the knees. Count evens.
That's a good comeback, too, from the southpaw for Notre Dame. Behind 1-0 in the count, you could tell Ewing was just waiting for a strike, and good spot at the knees.
1-1. Hot shot to third. Bouncer. Valentino in between. Game's tied. His momentum was coming home. Looked like he wanted to go there, but then decided to go back to the bag, and no one was there. 2-2 the score, and another pitching change going to come on here for Notre Dame, it looks like.
It's a really tough play, especially in between hops there for the third baseman. And as you said, Mike, he was kind of a deer in headlights to a certain extent of where do you go. I would probably just take the out at first base on a situation like that. Would have been a tough throw across the diamond, but did have some time. Instead, just caught in between those hops, and we're tied at 2. So Ewing with some late inning magic.
Another pitching change here from Ewing. We'll be back with more.
Spring sports season is here, which means practices, games, tournaments, and a lot more time in the car. And with rising gas prices, those trips to the field can really add up. At Team Toyota, we're the MVP of MPG, with a huge selection of new and certified Toyota models, hybrid, electric, or gas. We've got the right option for you to drive. Plus, our award-winning service and collision centers will help keep you in the game. Team Toyota, ready for wherever the season takes you. Stop in today or visit teamlanghorne.com.
New Jersey is home to the best public schools in the nation. And that didn't happen by accident. It's the result of parents, educators, and communities working together year after year to give our students a world-class education, no matter the challenge. Because parents and educators know that with a shared commitment to our public schools, our children can learn, grow, and thrive. And together, we can keep New Jersey's public schools the best in the nation.
The third pitching change of the inning for Notre Dame, and it's A.J. Cimino, the senior, that comes out onto the mound in a big spot. Bases still loaded. 2 runs across, 1 down. Thomas Ordini in at the dish, takes that one for a ball. It's 1-0. He's hitting in place of Chianese.
Cimino, one of the best pitchers last year for this Notre Dame team. ERA below 2, 7.2 thirds of an inning, only allowed 2 earned runs.
That one in there. It's 1-1. Ewing threatening. Trailed 2-0 to start the inning. They've tied it up at 2 apiece. 1-1 blocked by Guire.
Have to give Guire some credit. I know that he had the 1 ball get by him, which did lead to a run in this inning, but he's made a couple of really outstanding stops behind the plate. Again, there's not a whole ton of room behind the backstop, but enough to where it could score a run.
Tapper, right side foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two pitch. Outside, full count.
The Notre Dame bench and dugout wanted that one, didn't get it, just off the plate, and for a chance at the lead, bases loaded, 3-2, only 1 out.
Nowhere to put him. The 3-2 pitch. Hot shot towards the middle into center field. Ewing takes the lead. 1 run scores. It gets by Sweetek. 2 runs have scored. Second and third. 4-2 Ewing leads here in the bottom of the 6th.
Just outstanding contact there through the middle for the base hit, and great read too by the Ewing runners. Not only 2 runners coming in to score, but also now second and third to try to add to that lead with only 1 out. And as we mentioned earlier, the reliever for the pitching change at Semino has not been easy to solve as a pitcher in high school, and Ewing finds a way to do so. This offense, which has been quiet for the last couple games, comes alive here in the 6th.
Second and third, still just 1 out. Lineup flipping over. Here's Sam Leibowitz.
How about 4 hits in this inning, too, for the Blue Devils?
Offense coming alive after a drought. Pitch gets away from Guire, but not enough for the runners to test the waters. Greener State's put at third. Sheanise comes back in to take over after Tom Ordini's 2 RBI single. 4-2 Ewing, a 4 spot here in the bottom of the 6th when their backs were against the wall. Ball is popped up back behind home, but well out of play.
I believe this is also now the most hits that Ewing has had in a game all season. It comes against one of the better pitching staffs in Notre Dame. Kalena was really tough to solve throughout the first 5 innings, and here in the 6th, Ewing's has been able to work some walks, pick up some big hits as well, and really haven't been able to hit that extra base hit, but still good enough to bring in a few.
A ball and a strike. The pitch to Leibowitz hits him. Reloads the bases. Brings up Michael Gamboa Ordini. Bases loaded, still 1 out. A chance for Ewing to tack on some insurance runs of their own. First pitch to him. Swing and a pop-up out of play behind home.
This at bat is obviously big for this Ewing team in this game, but I think more so it's big for the rest of the season. If you're able to put up even more runs than 4, that could really snowball into the rest of the season, especially as you begin to get into conference play and play some tough teams. I mean, this is a big at bat for them just to get some momentum, just to build some of that team identity here, already having scored 4 runs in the 6th.
Pitch is in there from Semino, and it's 0-2. Runners lead off every base. The 0-2 from Semino is off the outside part of the plate. 1-2.
Notre Dame unable to get any of those close calls right now. Just seems like everything is going against them. We'll see if Semino can get an out.
1-2. And a called strike 3 on the outside corner, 2 away.
Tough day at the plate for Gamboa Ordini. 0 for 4, had that double play and now a strikeout. But that's a good pitch from Semino to come back and at the knees, able to go back to the breaking ball and get a second big out. If you're Notre Dame, you can find a way to keep this to a 2-run deficit. That's huge going into the final inning.
Brings up the man who started this inning, Sam Simpkins. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it back behind home out of play. 0-1 to Simpkins.
Semino must have some late movement to his breaking balls because a lot of these Ewing hitters have been swinging very awkwardly at some of these pitches as well as being a little late on some of these off-speed pitches. I think they're a little bit fooled right now by Semino.
0-1. Downstairs taken by Simpkins.
You saw Simpkins even kind of shuffle, hesitated a little bit, thought about going around on that one, ended up taking it a little bit low.
Ball and a strike. Bases loaded, 2 down. Tapped foul off him in the box. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Liner into center field. This could split the gap. 1 run scores. 2 runs have come across. Held up at third is Leibowitz. Sam Simpkins delivers in a big moment. A 4-run advantage for Ewing.
That's called helping yourself and your pitching staff out right there. Nice hit from Sam Simpkins again in the gap. He's been on base 2 times this inning, picks up the single, and has blown this game open. 6-2 lead for the home Blue Devils.
Took him a while to get things going offensively, but when they did, they erupted. 6th spot here in the bottom of the 6th. Bush at the plate, first pitch swinging. Gets a piece and fouls it away. He singled and scored a run in this inning.
And it goes back to just so many good pitchers Ewing has faced over the last few games. And finally, after seeing so much good pitching, able to come through for an offensive explosion here on this Thursday morning.
Bush swings and lifts this one to left. Iacona there to make the catch for out number 3, but the damage is done. Ewing erupts for 6. A 4-run cushion. We'll head to the top of the 7th inning here on WBCB.
Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Top of inning number 7, and a whole new ball game. 6-2 Ewing after they were trailing to begin the bottom of the 6th. The 6th spot put up, and now 3 outs away from their 2nd victory of the season. Jake Bush remains in the game on the mound. 9-1-2 due up for Notre Dame. Dean Garbolino to lead things off.
And a win for Ewing would also be just its 2nd in the last 6 matchups against Notre Dame. And we talked about the last win for Ewing was that 6-5 victory in May. So the Blue Devils looking to get back on the winning side of things here against the Irish.
Just 3 outs away. Garbolino steps in from the left side. Bush working from the stretch. The first pitch is a fastball hummed in for a called strike 1.
Now, Bush did struggle a little bit with his command, picked up a couple strikeouts last inning, but did throw some balls there. So I think for Notre Dame, just try to work the count and starts each base runner at a time.
0-1. Outside. One ball, one strike. The pitch. Taken up and inside. 2-1. 2-1. Downstairs. 3 balls and 1 strike. Called strike at the belt. Counts full 3-2. The 3-2 pitch. Right-hander kicks and deals. Ball 4. Leadoff man aboard for Notre Dame.
Strong at bat from Garbolino to begin the 7th. was able to get ahead 3-1, and every base runner, as I said earlier, counts. And now you get it back to the top of the order for the Irish.
Rocco Valentino from the left side in the pitch. He's in there for a called strike. Valentino, a couple of stolen bases for him on the afternoon. Singled back in the fifth, stole a base, and came around to score. Garbolino inching off first. 0-1, roller, right side, off the glove. Fielded and flipped to first in time by Chianese. There's one away. Runner in scoring position for Notre Dame.
I like that Ewing didn't panic, especially when that ball takes a weird carom the other way. Rodriguez was able to stay, or I'm sorry, they did substitute somebody in there at second base. But good play, just stay down on that, pick up and out, and move things along despite the runner now moving into scoring position.
The second baseman, Chianese, charging all the way, able to field the deflection cleanly and get it to first in time. Here's Joey Bonco, one down and a man aboard. Pitch misses outside, 1-0. In there, count evens. A ball and a strike. A 4-run cushion for Ewing. The pitch from Bush. Downstairs. Two balls and a strike. Two one popped off the hands, out of play. Count evens again, this time at 2. A peek at second from Bush, the 2-2. Blocked in the dirt.
Similar to a lot of the pitchers we've seen today, Bush just struggling a little bit to locate the off-speed pitches here in the cold, windy weather. Is really dependent on that fastball. I'd imagine he will go back there on the 3-2.
3-2 on the way. Off the hand, Squibber to third. Charging Chisholm. The throw is not in time. It hits off Bonco and rolls away. Bonco takes second. Coming around to score, Garbolino. 6-3 the score.
It's how important it is to put the ball in play. I'm sure that Bonco's going to feel that one for a while, kind of hit it off the knuckles, but puts it in play. Anything can happen. Tough play for Chisholm there across the diamond, and Notre Dame is not out of this one yet. One out, runner on second base.
We'll bring Tommy Switek to the plate.
And this is now who you want in your lineup for the Irish. 3, 4, and 5, Switek, Guire, Liberto, all due up. The middle of your order, down by 3, runner on second.
Bush peeks at second. First pitch on the ground, right side, through the hole for a hit. Being held up at third to put runners at the corners on the Switek single is Bonco.
Smart decision by Bonco to hold up at third. His run really doesn't mean anything. Don't want to get thrown out at home and make that all-important second out. And now runners on the corners. Notre Dame still alive. First pitch swinging for Switek, his first hit of the game. And now Guire coming up, who has struggled at the plate, but the righty going to face the freshman righty on the mound for Ewing and Bush.
Ewing still just a ground ball away from getting out of this one. Runner on first in Switek. Runner on the move for second. Throw cut off by Chianese, and taking second base is Tommy Switek. Only forces at first. Tying run at the plate. One down. Runners lead off second and third. The freshman Bush has his sign from Ordini. That one gets away. Bonko's coming home. The flip is not there, and Bonko is safe. 6-4. Switek 90 feet away.
Gamboa Ordini just had a tough time trying to get that baseball out of his glove on the transfer. Perhaps the grass is still a little bit slippery behind home plate with the rain we had last night. So that's able to score another run for Notre Dame. I have to give a lot of credit to the Irish. Haven't had any significant, really flashy hit, but just putting together base runners, walks, getting the key single has been important. Keeps the line moving.
A ball and a strike, the count to Guire, and the pitch. In there at the belt on the outside third, a ball and 2 strikes.
And Bush is still in control of this game. You only have, 1 out, runner on third. That run still really doesn't mean much for Notre Dame. Really have to focus on the hitter at the plate, and Bush comes back, fires a strike there on the 1-1 count.
Count at 1-2. The pitch from Bush. Liner towards center field. That'll get in for a hit. It's a 1-run game after Josh Guire's RBI single here in the top of the 7th.
Again, just keep extending things. Another good swing right on the barrel to right center field. Drops in for a hit. Mike, as you said, it's a 1-run game. Going to also get a runner, a pinch runner coming in, so potentially a stolen base. And now, if you're Ewing, have to start thinking about slowing down the game a little bit. Wouldn't be surprised if may get a talk there on the mound with the freshman righty.
It's Billy Tierney taking over on the base paths.
Definitely this time.
Yes. A.J. Liberto creeps into the box from the right side. Tying run on first for Notre Dame. They led 2-0 before entering the bottom of the 6th. Ewing put up 6 to take a 6-2 lead. And now chipping and clawing their way back into this one. Tying run on first with 1 down. Move over to first. And back standing is Tierney.
And no bullpen action behind Bush. This is his inning. 2 outs to get.
Bush has his sign. The pitch to Liberto. Taken. 1-0.
Over the last couple innings, the strike zone for sure has gotten smaller down in the zone. That pitch just missed. Perhaps was a called strike earlier in this contest.
1-0 from Bush. 2 balls and no strikes.
Bush is overthrowing a little bit right now. A lot of his fastballs riding high. Seem to have good velocity, just can't find the zone, and the breaking ball just missing. So Bush kind of in between pitches right now, trying to just get back in the zone.
Just missing 3 balls and no strikes to A.J. Liberto. Sal Kearns in the on-deck circle. The 3-0 to Liberto. Up and inside, ball 4. First and second, 1 down. Tying run in scoring position.
At this point, I think you have to go out and have a chat with Bush. Just really struggling to find the strike zone right now. Without any bullpen activity, you would imagine perhaps Ewing doesn't have a ton of pitchers behind Bush, and now we're going to see a mound visit. I think it's a smart one.
David Angerbrandt comes on out from the dugout. Requests the rest of the infield to come on in as well.
And this is where Ewing's defense can also play a big factor in this game. Ewing's defense has been strong behind their starters today, but in the first 3 games, 9 errors, leading by just 1 in these late game situations. Defense is going to be very crucial. I'm sure Coach Angerbrandt talking about that right now, in addition to trying to calm Bush down perhaps and trying to find a way to settle him back into the strike zone.
For the freshman and Bush, these are really, uncharted waters, and
absolutely
an experience here that he's going to hold tight with him in one way or another. First and second, 1 down. Good speed on the base paths for Notre Dame. Sal Kearns comes to the plate.
Kearns has been the hottest hitter all day for the Irish. Couple singles.
Hit by a pitch his last time up. Takes that one up and outside. It's 1-0. Liberto representing the leading run on first. He's got good speed. Move to second base. They got him! Tierney thrown out at second. Ewing 1 out away from a win.
It's absolutely disaster. The last thing you want to do if you're a base runner on second base is get picked off behind the play, and Bush, the righty freshman, with a stellar pickoff move. 2 outs.
Pitch to Kearns, cut on and fouled off the netting. Tierney caught leading. The pickoff successful from Bush. Tying run still on base, but with 2 down. A ball and a strike to Kearns, and time called at the plate. Bush retoes the rubber and looks in. Liberto inches off first base. 1-1, up and outside. 2 balls and a strike. The freshman right-hander. A deep breath out there on the bump. Looks into Ordini and has his sign. Peeks over at Liberto at first. He comes set at the letters. 2-1, popped up off the hands, but well out of play. It's 2-2.
This effort has taken a lot from Jake Bush. 41 pitches. He's thrown more than half of them in this inning alone, but he's just 1 strike away from slamming the door and ending the game with the same score the last time Ewing defeated Notre Dame.
2-2. The freshman kicks and deals. Liberto in motion. Pitch misses, and he's safe at second. The tying run back in scoring position for Notre Dame. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Kearns. Bush peeks at second. The 3-2. Hot shot to the mound. Bush has it. Flips to first in time. And the game is over. Ewing holds off Notre Dame and knocks off the Irish for the first time since 2024.
That was a fun one, Mike. Seemed like we were going to get treated to a very low-scoring game, and it was for the first 5 innings. But after that, the offenses came alive, and a really strong performance from Ewing. The last couple games have been tough for the Blue Devils in terms of offense. They come together, explode for 6 runs in the 6th inning. And how about the freshman, Jake Bush, slamming the door in the 7th? Yes, he allowed a couple runs, but as a freshman in a key spot with seemingly no pitchers behind him, gets the job done. Good win all around for the Blue Devils.
Jake Bush shuts the door. The Blue Devils back to 500. They improved to 2-2 on the season. David Shapansky will have our WBCB Sports Player of the Game interview brought to you by Capital Health on our YouTube page following the conclusion of this broadcast. Today's broadcast brought to you in part by Team Toyota, Capital Health, Haldeman Ford, the Revere Restaurant, NJEA, Kessel Dermatology, Notre Dame High School, Mayor Bert Steinman of Ewing Township, the Trentonian, the Trenton Thunder, Hyundai of Trenton, and the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office. For the crew, David Shapansky did our color commentary and our camera work. Colin Sommer produced today's stream. My name is Mike Warren saying so long for now. Ewing victorious 6-5 over Notre Dame. Have a great rest of your afternoon, everybody. You've been listening to High School Baseball on WBCB.